I want you to imagine that you're a student at Yogi State University and you go there to learn and grow as a person and to feel safe, only to have your possessions stolen from you or even your life. Hello, I'm Thomas Warnheimer.
I'm Sophia Spazuko.
I'm Dylan Frost.
I'm Kate Stephen.
I'm Caitlin O'Connor.
And today we'll be discussing the ways we can prevent this awful thing from happening through training the security guards of Yogi State University and how training them in the proper equipment methods.
SWOT analysis. Our SWOT analysis has a strengths and opportunities that can and should be exploited, therefore minimizing any weaknesses that become threats. Some of our strengths are that they have 260 staff members and only 100 work at a time, so the other 160 staff members could be getting trained on the group. And they also know that they need to be trained to keep their school more safe. Some of their weaknesses are that they haven't trained since 2016 and that people untrained are using their equipment. Some opportunities that they have is that they are willing to change and start training. And another one is that they know their priorities and know what they need. Some threats are people at Boko Haram, thieves, and insiders.
One of the main problems that the university faces is the Boko Haram. This is a local terrorist organization. Another, probably the most significant problem is the thieves that are going to the university and going on campus and taking students' goods and valuable items.
Didn't it work?
Use the button, we'll edit all of this out.
The distribution of equipment. Different jobs require different equipment. So the equipment that you get would be based off of what role you play in the security team. There are three groups: general duty, rapid response, and the investigation team. We are giving general duty whistles, flashlights, and metal detectors, rapid response, tasers and radios, and investigation badge scanners.
For our training protocol, we will be implementing Train the Trainer, which means we will start with hiring a trainer to come in and train all of the heads of the departments. And then the heads of the departments will train the rest of the security guards, creating a training cycle. Which means not only are we paying for a training baseline, but we're investing in training for all the future of Yogi State security.
Now, how will we implement this training? Because it doesn't matter how good an idea is, if you cannot implement it, it doesn't matter. The first step will be using our $600 in funding in order to hire a trainer. And this trainer will take a select group of people from each of the branches of security and give them rigorous training and make them masters and essentially trainers in their own right. From there, they'll go back to their branches and train them. This is important because it minimizes the cost, making sure that we only need to have a training team train once, because it can be repeated. It makes sure that whenever new staff come, they can also be trained with the same high level of training. And should the first trainer retire, they can pass their training knowledge back onto a new staff security guard, and from there it can continue, making a very cost efficient and a one-time purchase for everyone.
The budget. We have a $600 United States budget that we will be using this said money to buy a trainer who will then train the security guards who have the highest level of authority. Then the security guards who have learned from the trainer will then take what they learned and teach it to the rest of the guards. We will hire one trainer and pay them $150 per session, and there will be 4 sessions. So in total, that is $600 with no money left over.
Special training. Our rapid response squad will be called if there's any emergencies on campus, and they will use their tasers against any possible threats to the school. They will also stop problems that have to come with it. The investigation team will identify any people who go into the school and come out. They will communicate with the general duty team. The general duty team will check gates and entrances. They will scan every way with metal detectors to make sure they don't have any dangerous weapons on them. They will also check the trunk of their car to see if they have any weapons in there. They will also go into school if there's any possible threats.
Now for the equipment. Metal detectors will be held by all gate guards, and they will scan everyone who walks, drives, or just enters the university. This way we can ensure that there's no dangerous weapons getting inside the university to help prevent crime. The next thing we'll be using is whistles. Whistles, all guards will be learning a signal, whistle signals to help if the electricity goes out or the walkie-talkies do not work.
Next, we will also be giving the rapid response team tasers. And as you've heard from our previous partner group, we'll be getting 20 tasers and for a 30-man rapid response team. And this is useful and good because should a taser malfunction or fail, we will always have a couple of spare tasers that can be used no matter the time. But we will also require rigorous training and intensive training for use of tasers because they have been known in the past to be lethal and dangerous. Tasers will be used to neutralize any terrorist threats or criminals safely and then detain them until proper authorities can arrive and deal with them. We will also be giving the entire security force walkie-talkies because while Yobe State University is huge, you need walkie-talkies, and whistles may not always be the best option as they have a limited range. And walkie-talkies can be used to contact the nearby military bases in order to get the proper authorities to the university, as security guards are not allowed to handle firearms. We would recommend that the security forces would scramble their radio frequencies on a daily basis, either randomly or throughout a weekly schedule, in order to make sure that Boko Haram and other terror groups cannot tap into their radio frequencies and hear what's going on and get the upper hand.
Obviously, training is important, but to truly show this to the security guards at Yobe State, we must see where they are currently at and expose their weaknesses. And to do this, we will be implementing drill simulations. These drill simulations will show us where they are at right now and where they struggle. And we'll take where they struggle and try and grow and build on it to minimize the weaknesses. They will be able to be motivated by seeing how that during an emergency time, they might really need this training, so they would want to train more. We would also be able to improve them by gradually getting better at these drills so that in the actual time of an emergency, they would be able to do it successfully, safely, and sufficiently. We would like to thank our judges, thank LI, and thank all the mentors and people that have worked with us this week, and especially the Yobe security staff for helping us and letting us help them. My peers and I feel very passionate about the implementing training into the Yobe State security, and we would hope that you guys would believe in this as much as we do and implement it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Team 2, great job. I'll buy your program. I thought that your slides are always going to be my big point. You're going to get tired of hearing that, but I thought your slides were very effective, as I thought you were effective in describing the various parts of your program that you wanted to impress us with. I thought that you were all engaging. Your use of the time was perfect. I didn't hear anyone say that you were getting close to time. I don't keep it myself, but didn't hear you were close. And I thought you explained the case, really well. I just think a good job. You look good, which also is important because the first impression is the most important impression you're going to make on anybody. And you guys spent time to make sure that you did have that look, so that it was not distracting from your presentation. So nice job. Mike, you want to go next?
Sure. So actually, again, good job. Seemed like you did a good job with memorization. As far as the slideshow goes, there was a pretty big typo on there with terrorist or terrorism, I think, on the second or third slide. But that becomes pretty glaring when you're doing a presentation if you have typos and kind of things that stand out. That's where it stands out most. Pretty good job on diction. I think you all could have spoken a little more forcefully and a little more clearly, but generally a good job on that. Body language was pretty good. And really when you were talking, as you progressed through the presentation, you got more confident and better at it. So that's something that happens, and a good job there. Body language was good. Clarity of argument, quite good. Pacing, use of time was quite good. You were engaging. I liked everybody. Good explanation of the case. Very good explanation of the case, good understanding of the law, and the limitations of the law, decent quality of research, and a nice conclusion, so good job.
It was a good, very good presentation, okay? Thomas, I liked when you stepped forward, when you spoke and stepped back, something we had talked about yesterday, and I'm glad that you did that. Right now, I want you to all smile because it's over, okay? And you did a good job. So be happy and proud of yourself, okay? Dylan, the cards prevented you from gesturing. You did some gestures, but holding the cards, that's one of the reasons you want to have it memorized. Let me give you a thing. When you try to memorize something really, really hard, it doesn't work. If you relax and very calm, have your favorite music in the background that relaxes you or whatever makes you the most relaxed, if you look at it then, it's going to stick with you better. To me, it works. The last thing before I go to sleep at night, the first thing when I wake up in the morning, I'm kind of in that sleepy state. That's when I'm the most relaxed. And you just do it like 3 times, you read it, and it's like, boom, there, and 3 times in the morning. You'd be surprised how that helps. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think you needed the cards as much as you did. I think you're that close. So it was good. Let's see here. One of the things that I would like to have seen, and it's the first 2 teams haven't done it, when somebody's talking, it would have been nice if the rest of the team was looking at them and listening to what they're saying, or at least pretending you're listening to what they're saying, rather than just kind of everybody's looking off and you're wondering why you're all distracted. Sophia, Kate, and Caitlin, you all did very nice. You all smiled. Caitlin, I know you had a little bit of a disadvantage. You could have smiled a little bit more, been a little more relaxed, like I talked about Sophia and Kate. But you had the mechanical disruption, or the mechanical problem, and you just kept going. That's a sign of a professional. You all did very well. Congratulations.
Thank you.